Hey guys, welcome back. I'm going to show you a recap of some of yesterday and today from First Strike. So hope you guys are having a good day and doing well. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you yesterday's open with Tesla. I'm going to pull just a couple. I apologize if I got some different things on my screen because I always have my own lines and stuff. So if you see some of that, I apologize. I'm just trying to get a couple of quick videos done and stuff like that. And anyways, so again, yesterday was Wednesday, so we're seeing Tesla here out of the open and get a nice signal here at about 421.40, let's say. Get right out of the open here. So I'm not going to say 421, but it was close. So again, we're looking for on Tesla. You got to look at a lot of things on stocks when you're especially when you're playing this system. When you see a gap down like this, you gotta watch it. And if you, a gap, this gap, and then you could see one down here too. So you got to watch those because you very well could get in here and get rejected right away too. Not saying it happens, but look at this wick, the candle, two candles before the signal. So you got to pay attention to stuff. So if you're not familiar, watch the gaps. You got to pay attention to them. So anyways, we get our signal here, and we're looking on Tesla when it's running. You should be able to get a $2 to $3 move. I like to get anywhere from a $1 to $3 move. When I tell you that I'm trying to make quick money and fast, that's what I'm trying to do. So if I can get a dollar move in less than 30 seconds to a minute, there's nothing wrong with that. I'll take 30, 40, $50 on a push of a button anytime, So anyways, you get your signal, 420, low 421s, and you get yourself three candles. You're talking 3 to 4 minutes here. And again, yeah, it runs for quite a while. I'm looking for the explosion right away. So when you see me, I'm not even talking about this. If you want me to be the guy that shows these, oh my gosh, look at this big 421 to 432. Tesla had a 10-12. Yes, it had a 10 to 12 point move. Absolutely, it did. But what I'm looking for is a quick, fast kaboom. Get in, get out. If you took this trade, right, and just ran it for 4 to 5 minutes, if you just said, this is my game plan, I'm trying to get in and stay in the trade, like a Tesla, NQ, sometimes NVDA, AMD, as long as they're not ranging and chopping, they're going to move, okay? So there's nothing wrong with saying I'm going to be in this trade for 10, 15 minutes max, no matter what. Because if this is right, you're going to hit within several minutes. You should, okay? And if you're going to lose, again, that's just the reality to it. You're not going to win every day, so you gotta know these things, okay? This trade, you can't lose no matter what happened. You're not going to lose, okay? So even if you put your stop in this vicinity, which is a couple dollars behind, you got to be really willing to risk. If you're doing a 40, 50 delta, I keep saying that. You $2 to $3. You're taking a chance on 150, $100. If you want to put a dollar stop loss, you can do that too. But Tesla can flip back and forth pretty quick. So I would look at, before you enter, I'd look at your stops and just take a look. I don't think you want to put it all the way down here. You could, but you're talking roughly a $300 stop. My opinion is, if you're dealing futures and it's micros, sure. But if you got the money and you're willing to do that and take that chance, I'm trying to explain that I wouldn't do it. When I have this, again, the system that's set up, the way it's designed is to catch a fast move, catch it quick. So we really don't need this if what is true is going to play out, okay? So just understand that. Not every day is going to play out, but it will play out a lot, a majority of the time. So we're looking for a $1 to $3 move on Tesla. And yes, can you get more? Yes, you can. I'm not going to tell you can't. You could get $20 move. If you want to put a month, 2, 3 months out on your option and sit back and let it go ahead. You know, I'm just telling you what I'm looking for. $1 to $3. So you get it again. You get here in the 421. At the peak of this, it's 425. And you know these numbers in Tesla. You know, 5s and 10s, 15s and 20s. Pay attention to those, because a lot of times they could, you know, reject off of that, like 425 or 420. You know, look at the range that's happening. Anyways, I'm not going to spend all day talking about that part of it, but Tesla did really well with this beautiful signal. Even this guy, I'm trying to get all those shut off in the afternoon, and we don't want to take that. This is the trade we want. We want maybe 2 trades in the morning. If you take a loss in the first one, if you want to take another one, and then if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. If it's not, it's a loss, you know. So anyways, Tesla was good for yesterday. Let's take a look at AMD. I show a lot of the same ones, but I do it because they move, you know. They move. Okay, so AMD, same thing. Here's a gap the complete opposite way now, right? I like to get anywhere from a $1 to $3 move on AMD. Same thing with Tesla. I'd like to get a $2 to $3 move off of AMD. Same thing I'm going to tell you. You look at these signals, this is painful. This is where you never want to do this. And this is why I'm trying to be done early in the morning, right? So anyways, you know, we get our signal here at let's say 532, let's say, I don't want to just cherry pick the top of it, but let's just say 532.50. Let's just go to 50. So let's say you don't get it correct. So at this point of this candle, you got 530.49, 530.40. So you got your $2 move. I'll say it again. You know, if you took the 50 delta, the contracts are going to be a little expensive. Less than a minute. You know, you got your $2 move. You got yourself $100. I don't know. Is it good enough for you? It sure is for me. Let's say you missed this entry. I'm not a fan of taking stuff so fast in the morning. It can happen, but you got to be careful, because look at what happens. So this next signal would probably be more, I would rather wait a little bit and get into something that's a little bit after the, craziness in the morning. Sometimes you have this whipsaw back and forth. No matter what, you take this one too. Same type of area, only this one has a nice run. Doesn't quite fill this gap, but it fills it solid, you know. So is it good enough? Sure. 532.50, let's say, all the way down to 525. I don't know. It's solid move. I say it again. I wouldn't be sitting in here probably for this whole move. I want $2 or $3 and done. I'm out. So, you know, this signal is good. This one's even better. This one's okay. You know, these are all. This one's actually solid too. This one's solid. There's nothing wrong with these. It's just that look at how small they are. If you scalp and you can get in and out and take a dollar, yeah, you did well if you got that money. Anyways, it's 2 for 2 yesterday so far. Let's go to NVDA, see what that NVDA did. So we got NVDA, one signal. You can already see, you don't have to really look much. I'm looking on NVIDIA. I mean, today it ran good. This isn't bad, you know. $5. It looks like it had a nice rundown. Actually, more than 5. So $6, let's say. I'm looking for a $1 move on NVIDIA. Contracts aren't so bad, so we're shooting for a $1 move. You get in at 220. You know, not quite 220. Let's say it's 220.20. You get the 219. There's your dollar move in 1 minute, one candle. Yeah, if you hold it, you got a couple more bucks, and that's the thing that you will learn on your own. How long do I want to hold? You know, so I can teach you like what you want to look out for, and every day is a little different though. You know, you got to understand that the market's different. The market will chop at days. Some days it's going to be explosive. You got to feel that and see that. I saw a period even today where it was just, I knew it was going to be painful, but you know, I wasn't worried about it. I was already done this morning. So, you know, every day is different. So let's quit with this one, and I'll take a look at let's look at Amazon. Okay, Amazon, similar, you know, same thing. I'm looking for a dollar move on Amazon. You notice, you know, here you get in 530, 253, let's say 30, and you don't get quite the dollar move here. So this is what I really want to see a little bit more down to get that dollar move. And you don't always get that. You look at the little range, but it does break down, you know. You don't lose, and speaking in NVDA, you didn't lose on that one. AMD, you didn't lose. Tesla, you didn't lose. This one you didn't lose, because if you put your stop anywhere behind this, it never come up and touched it. Okay, so if you run it all the way down to 47, again, another $6-7 move, but you're talking a couple hours. I'm not that kind of trader. I don't want to wait. So, you know, anyways, it's solid, you know. So I'm just trying to show you a few stocks. I'm going to go ahead and show you some futures real quick, and let's see what NQ did. Sorry, my throat's a little dry. I don't know why, but it is. And I will probably have lines, so I apologize. Okay. Well, if you see it with your own eyes, you already know. This did really, really, really well. You know, I hope you guys are watching this. I mean, this every time I show you, I wonder sometimes if people are like, he's making this up, but I'm not. Anyways, you know, I'm looking, again, I always tell you, I'm looking for my 10-point moves. That's what I like to do. I don't care what everybody else likes to do. You know, yesterday I played around with a few things. I had a really nice day yesterday, and then I switched to micros. I was just screwing around, testing out a couple things, and you know, I'm not going to say anything, because what I do and what you do are two different people, and it doesn't matter. I'm not here to say, hey, I had a great day doing this. I mean, I'm doing good enough, so I'm not worried about you know, what everybody else is. I'm not in competition with anybody, nor should you be. So we're all different in what we're looking for. People will laugh at me and say, you're looking for a 10-point move on NQ. That's nothing. Okay. It's nothing. $200 is nothing. A lot of people don't understand how important that is. But anyways, so we enter at 37, you know, let's say 750. You know, in seconds, you guys, in seconds, you're done. I wish you guys would understand. You know, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you're done. Your day, you can go enjoy it. Even today, I was done this morning, and you know, now I'm like, man, I'm kind of bored. I'm like, what am I going to do today? So I go work out, go for a walk, you know, go kind of enjoy some of the day, because I want to trade, you know. But you got to learn to quit doing that, and it's taken me a long time to do that, because the more you trade, chances are you get caught in stuff, and you might get whipped around and regret it. Anyways, if I wanted to make a video and say, oh, look at NQ had the explosive move here, and we got down to 30,005 from, you know, 750. That's 250-point move, and it sure the heck did have it. You betcha. And it had it in a short period of time. So absolutely, as perfect as you want, as perfect. You couldn't ask for anything better yesterday. Okay. So let's jump. I'm not going to spend all day talking about all these. So sorry about the lines. I got, like I said, a lot of stuff on my screen. Okay. So I'm going to show you today. All right, so again, here's a prime example. Yesterday, today. Okay. Yesterday and today. If I told you that every day was going to be lights out, I would be a liar. But when I tell you that more days than not, you're going to be good, you're going to do well. So the question on this one will be, it's stalled, right? The biggest question is, did you lose? You know, and I call this kind of a loser. Depending on when you enter, it just didn't have any expansion after it. So if I said, you know, hey, you entered at 33.43, right? And at the peak, it goes to 33.60. That's, you might have got a 10-point move off of that. You might. I'm not going to tell you that. I would consider this a loss because, you know, everybody wants to see the big hurrah, the big kaboom, the big drop, and so do I. You know, that's why this is a prime example. I'm not like looking at this all the time though, but this is a reason why I like my 10 points. I enter, I got my bracket, I get filled. I get filled when it hits my 10 points. Okay, so let's say you took a loss here. You know, you're like, shit, I took a loss, which it isn't. It didn't really do anything, you know, so you can see that. So here you say, I'm going to take 2 trades today. Here goes your second signal. You made it back, you know. So again, the difference is like if you jump in here at 32, like 30,002, you know, one candle, you get a 30-point move, one candle. If you continue, if you deal with this snapback, which you'd be like, why didn't I take my profit on this one? That's, you know, you've got to be willing to accept these wick backs because they happen, and you got to know this. So this signal is good, you know. This signal, it's solid, you know. What today has it's just running and running. I mean, you know, it's still, I mean, from this bad boy, 33.40s all the way up to 590. I mean, it's just a slow grind day. But again, you enter, you never get stopped. But we're not doing this, like I said, but I'm just showing you, you can. I don't recommend it. But yeah, if you say, well, Frank, man, look what I did. I stayed in. But what happens though, if you hit this first one, right, and you make 200 bucks, then you play around, and you're going to start holding and playing around, and maybe you give it back. You know, do you want to give it back? So I don't. But anyways, I can't say that this is a win, you know. Even though the other signals are much better, it happens. Now here's even, I'll go to ES. Same thing, you know. It's like it, you know, ES, you're not gonna get huge explosions usually like NQ, you know. So I can't say that this would be a bad loss at $50 a point. 556 to 561. So you're talking, it's a $200 move right here. This one candle. It don't look like much, but these are all good signals. You know, it's, you know, this one was better, but they're not great. You know, it's, look at this. You know, this sucks. But, you know, this is why you always want to think about when you're going to enter. Do you want to wait a little bit? You know, you jump in too fast in the morning, you know, you're talking 5 minutes in, 10 minutes in. I think it's better to stay in a little bit, you know, come in a little bit later, maybe 15 to 30 minutes. You know, let this garbage play out, and then try to jump. So, anyways, it's hearsay after the fact, but anyways, it's not bad signal, nothing great, but let's see what Tesla did today. Okay, so today's the 4th. Okay, so same thing. Signal should be right around 425. $1 to $3 move. You know, can you catch a dollar move here and be happy? It isn't substantial, it isn't huge, but you know, you got to also look at what this move is before it happened. You know, this is, you know, 418 to 425. That's $7. Sometimes it needs a pullback. So, you know, you guys, you got to think about that stuff too. You know, you got to look. You had some big moves. That looks like it's strong though. You know, you would have liked to have it lift a little bit more, but it had a dollar move. I don't know. I don't think it's bad. You know, it's like people just can't be greedy. You got to take what the market gives you. You know, and worst case scenario, you say, hey, I'm going to jump and I'm going to get out if it reverses. Then that's what you do. You know, but it's a dollar move. It's not huge, but it's a dollar move. So I don't think it's a loss, but it isn't huge. I'm not going to say it's huge. Let's see what NVDA is. Same thing, NVIDIA. We're looking for a dollar move. See the little gap. Okay, 214, low 214s, gets up to 215.69. You know, 4 or 5 minutes. See how you almost get wicked though. You know, you got to have your stop at the bottom of that candle. On NVIDIA, you can go a little bit lower. You know, you can give yourself a dollar. Give it a breathing room. This isn't that bad. I mean, even right here. I mean. It's yeah. Nobody wants to lose, but give it a little bit, I guess. You know, we're looking for dollar move. You know, so that's you know, if you want to do a 1-to-1, 1.5, 2-to-1, whatever. NVIDIA did good with this. Yeah, the second signal was 100 times better. It went through the roof. Still climbing. What, $6, $7? So again. You see it with your own eyes. If you sat here and you played NVIDIA today, goes up, you get your money. Goes down, get your money. Goes up, it's been going up. You paid for this indicator, this system. You paid for it all so easy. It works, guys. All right, what is AMD doing? The reason why I like AMD better is because it has usually. Don't ask me why, because I know NVIDIA, I used to love this thing. It used to go $10, $15 both ways and flying around like crazy, but it doesn't usually do that now. It's a different animal, but that was many years ago. So I like AMD right now just because it does move, and you can get your couple of dollar move. That's like I said, there's certain stocks I like, certain ones I don't. So, you know, if you're jumping in at 509.40, let's say, and you get down to 504, let's say it's $5, $5 in 5 minutes. I don't know if you guys know what that means, but if you get $4 or $5 move on a $50 delta, you're roughly talking almost $200, $150, $200. Might even be more. You know, if that contract starts moving fast and goes in your way, you might even get more. What's wrong with that? You're done in 5 minutes and you don't have to do anything the rest of the day. This one again, solid. You never lost. If you stayed and like just say, hey, I'm gonna hold this sucker and let it run. You know, even up to here. What's wrong with a $6, $7, $8 move? I mean, $6 move. What's wrong with the $6 move? $6, $7 move. What? There's nothing wrong with that. You're not gonna make that money anywhere. So, what else can I show you? So Microsoft. That's brutal. You see something like this, you sure in the world, you better never go long on something when you see a candle like that. That's painful to watch. I don't even, it's brutal. Again, you're paying attention to the gap down here. Signal, no good. These signals, you know, I wouldn't even trade this when I see this. I'd be staying away from this. You got this big, huge move again. You got to look at that. That's just too big, man. You got to stay out when you're seeing that. That's not good. So, you know, I'm not making excuses. It's just you gotta pay attention to things too. Say, wow, that had a big move. I don't know if I feel comfortable now, but I sure wouldn't be going long after I see that. But yeah, it's definitely one I wouldn't be looking at. Quick Amazon here. Let's see if this one did anything. See all these signals. You don't want all those signals, guys. This one here, 254. Yeah, I can cherry pick it up to 254.80. You see what I mean? This is not. It's just not enough. Even with those 3-4 minute 3-4 candles, you know, I don't like that. So you'll see my other videos. I say sometimes Amazon, you can get good moves, but you know, you sometimes you won't even get $1 on them, you know. So look at what a 50 would pay you, because I know the contracts aren't that expensive. I mean, they are, but they're not that bad. So you could always go for a 50-cent move and take 2 cons, you know. You still would have did okay. I mean, you're not going to make a lot of money if you held it. You know, the problem is this candle here could have gotten you, but if you put your stop underneath here, like, I don't know if you can see this because that green arrow's in the way, but if you enter up here and you put even your stop right here, you still can run it up. So you'll still make a buck, but it's a hard dollar to make right there, man. So, again, I can't say that Amazon's explosive. Sometimes it can move. Last one, I'll look at Palantir. So look at Palantir. This is a loss. Beautiful, but a loss. So same thing, it's you can look at some of the stocks. I know Palantir, I thought it did. Let's go back real quick. I'll look at yesterday. So yesterday was a third. See the difference. Palantir 147 makes it down to 144. You get a dollar move on this one is nice too. There's nothing wrong with it. You can get a couple bucks. Again, not cherry picking, but you see the day. The difference, yesterday it worked, today this one didn't work. You got to look at the stocks, pay attention to which ones are moving, and how the market's moving too. So just remember that, you see with your own two eyes which ones are doing well, which ones are so-so, and you got to learn those things. And I can definitely guide you and teach you all those things too, guys. So anyways, thank you again for watching, liking and subscribing. Please follow for more. I'm definitely going to have a lot of videos. It's even my RevX. I got a lot of cool things I'm working on. I don't want to put so much out there. I want to focus on just having people see this one. I think the RevX is doing pretty well. I mean, I watch it and I'm paying attention to it. I'm kind of tweaking things as I'm watching it too. So every day is a little different. I'll show you something. Let me see if it was today. I hope I'm not going to screw this up here, but okay, I'm going to try to no, it was yesterday. I don't want to confuse you, but I want you to see something here. Okay, so I'm not a fan of a lot of indicators. Okay, I don't like having a bunch of garbage on my screen and stuff like that too. I got my lines for certain reasons, but not the indicators. So I want to show you what RevX also did yesterday. Okay, when you're seeing, like, when you combine this, and again, this is why there's too much crap going on here, but I'm just showing you something. You can see that this thing is having exhaustion, right? Small range, not very big, but when you see this will actually give me even more confidence on if this fires down, because it's not always telling you perfectly, hey, there's things that are not perfect with these indicators, guys. Okay, and I can show you right here. Look at exhaustion. But what this can, and I'll jump to that real quick. So anyways, this shows exhaustion, and guess what? That was beautiful because it just reversed. And as soon as you see this, it's like pounce. Not every day again is going to be like, hey, this worked flawless. But boy, oh boy, when you got two things working for you, it feels pretty darn good. And I'm not going to say nothing, but I even played around with something with it and hit something today too. So anyways, if you can imagine, right? And even better yet, let's say you're like, I'm going to watch this. So you get your exhaustion underneath. It's rejecting it right now on the bottom. And guess what? Gives you another signal, a sell signal. Now this is RevX. This is not First Strike. So don't confuse these guys. But so this thing ran right down and did beautiful. And I got this set up. Sorry, I'm moving this around because I'm running out of room. Really, I want this to be on a 3-minute time frame. And I do have the signals set for the 3-minute time frame, but you can actually alternate and go to any time frame you want. So if you look at this, man, I mean, again, if you get out, yeah, if you say I'm going to watch these and get out, it's still a beautiful move. And you made, even this thing, I mean, it's, I don't know, 30, 40 points or whatever. But look at how it catches this exhaustion move down here at the bottom, and it gives you a buy signal. That's pretty smoking, man. I mean, it's pretty cool to see. Not all of them, right? Not all of them, because like, look at these. So 2 exhaustions, three in a row, 3 in a row. And it's interesting because the buy signal didn't jump here. It would have been phenomenal if it did, but this one, it did well. And if you're trying to run with the move and you see this, it's just maybe a warning sign saying get the heck out. You know, you can always re-enter, but if you're scalping. So, anyways, I just wanted to show you. It doesn't always work perfectly, but you know, if you stuck around in the middle here, I mean, what's wrong with it? I don't. Let's see what it did today. I don't even know. I haven't even looked at it. You do get a lot of signals on the 1 minute, so that's why I like the 3 minute better. But I like playing the 1 minute with my entries for the trades, guys. So, okay, so I'm not a fan of this because it's in the middle of this, so we would not want to be buying in here. But even if you did well, and it's telling you get out again. You know. Now here's even the kicker. Today, this is telling you exhaustion, and first strike is telling you jump. So, you know, if you roll these two indicators together, you know, do you want to take the trade when this one's saying it might be exhausted? So I'm trying not to show you too much here, but it's pretty cool if you even are watching both of them at the same time. It's a lot to look at. Might have a little bit too much for me. I don't like all this stuff, but you know, we'll flip back and forth and look at it from time to time. So anyways, just kind of was gonna mess around a little bit and show you. So anyways, guys, thanks again. Hope you guys did well today. God bless you. You can find my training, my one-on-one, the coaching, both of these systems. You know, you guys you're going to be happy when you go with this. I'm telling you, it's a learning process. I'm going to be there to help you, and you're not going to be alone. So, I mean, that's my promise to you. I'm going to make sure that you understand it. I don't want anybody to jump into something and be like, I'm lost. I don't know what I'm doing. So I will tell you, you know, if you're brand new and you don't know how to trade futures, if you don't know how to trade options, I mean, I can teach you and stuff like that, but you know, that's different than doing this. So I want to help. I was there, trust me. I mean, I went through so much stuff my own. Just even learning how to open and close options and so much of that, and speed. You gotta learn your quickness. And I can help you with that. It's repetition. It takes time. Okay. So don't give up. Don't stop. Trust me. There's been many times where I've had everything come at me, you know, and test you to the point where you're like, can I do this? Testing yourself, you know, questioning yourself. You're going to have that. If you don't, you're too new. But you will, because everybody does. And you're going to have losses. You're going to have to bounce back. You're going to have to accept those losses. So much in this brain, so much psychology. I don't care what people tell you about it being easy. You know, I said it in another video. It's easy to push the button and to buy and close if you're just going with futures. It is another thing to really trade with your real money. It's another thing to be able to, I'm going to take that loss and get out. Do I want to hold on to it? Can it come back? Do I want to take my profits now? What if I don't? You're going to learn all this stuff, and you're going to understand. There is a lot to this. So when you look at these people with these videos, and they're telling you it's easy, and they're telling you it's simple, stupid, let me tell you something. From somebody who's been doing it for many, many years, it's not easy. I'll say it again. If it was easy, do you really think that everybody and their brother wouldn't be doing this? Everybody would. You know how many people get destroyed? 90+%. So, anyways, that's the truth. And again, I'm going to quit rambling here. You guys, I hope you guys did well today. Take care of yourself. God bless you again. And there'll be more videos coming really soon. Have a great day, and God bless you guys. Bye-bye for now.